Miner Bitfarms sold almost half its Bitcoin to reduce debt. The miner sold 3,000 Bitcoin in the past week to improve liquidity and reduce indebtedness. Sorry, they're selling off their Bitcoin. Still very relevant though. So Bitcoin miners Bitfarms sold almost half of its stash of the cryptocurrency in the past week for about $62 million to reduce debt as miners feel the squeeze of the crypto market downturn. Bitfarms is adjusting its holding strategy to improve liquidity and strengthen its balance sheet, according to Tuesday press release that played on a mistype of the word hold. The sale of 3,000 Bitcoin cuts the miner's holdings to 3,349, including month-to-date production. So Bitfarms, based in Toronto, also closed a $37 million equipment financing deal with NYDIG, announced last week, bringing liquidity to $100 million. The money raised in the sale helped the miner reduce a Bitcoin-backed credit facility from Galaxy Digital to $38 million. Last week, Bitfarms said it had sold 1,500 Bitcoin to reduce the rolling loan to $66 million from $100 million. A slouching Bitcoin price has spurred miners' profit margins to dwindle after many of the miners borrowed heavily to fund their operations. Bitfarms was one of the miners with the strategy of keeping its daily Bitcoin production on its balance sheet, using lending and share offerings to fund expansion and day-to-day costs. Asked about selling Bitcoin to improve cash flow or minimize stock dilution, Chief Mining Officer Ben Gagnon, something like that, said in an interview published on April 22nd that Bitfarms' at-the-market offering and borrowing against its Bitcoin holdings were alternative options. Quote, "We think that Bitcoin is currently undervalued." Do you guys remember, like, even at the height of this, I was saying, like, don't borrow. Like, even if we're, like, borrowing against Bitcoin, you still have to pay that back. It's not a good idea. We don't hodl Bitcoin. We hodl what? Silicon. Look, you can still be a miner and participate within cryptocurrency and not have to hodl and still be supporting the network. And your goal is to maintain security for the networks. You should be aware that this happens every single time. It is absolutely insane to me that these massive companies are going against very basic principles for operating a business that puts them in a position where now they have to liquidate at low prices of Bitcoin to pay off their debt. Whereas if they would have just sold the Bitcoin at the top instead of borrowing against it and purchased more hardware, they would be in a much better position. It is absolutely baffling to me how poorly these companies are being managed, especially given the clear signals from the halving cycle that are completely obvious to a dummy like me. I don't get it. It's absolutely infuriating. We think that Bitcoin is currently undervalued and the long-term, medium-term potential of Bitcoin is significantly greater than the cost of capital to borrow against cryptocurrency, he said in April. At the time, Bitcoin was about double today's price. While we remain bullish on long-term Bitcoin price appreciation, this strategic change enables us to focus our top priorities of maintaining our world-class mining operations and continuing to grow business in anticipation of improving mining economics, Chief Financial Officer Jeff Lucas said in Tuesday's statement. Bitfarms shares rose 6.8% on the NASDAQ. Man, if you guys need some consulting, let me know, because this is just crazy that you just missed this entire boat. It's absolutely silly. Let's talk about Celsius some more. So, as you guys may or may not know, Celsius has shut down swaps, all that sort of stuff. I think at this point, if you've been watching the channel, you're completely aware of it. We talk about not wanting to be a part of CeFi, not wanting to be a part of centralized exchange, not your keys, not your crypto. Okay, all that out of the way. What is happening is that Cell, for funding, create a token, an ERC20 token, on the Ethereum blockchain. And as of right now, about 87% of it is locked up in Celsius itself, meaning that you can't withdraw it. Another 13% is out in the wild, right? It's in other centralized exchanges. It's on DeFi with Uniswap and 1inch. And there are a couple of different ways to purchase it all. Community movement has started that we covered in complete detail this morning, depending on your time, or late last night. where a short is going on. And this is kind of the details in the case for it. We did read this and cover this article. I'll just cover a little bit of it really quickly here. So shorts borrowed approximately 18 million SEL tokens on FTX, sold them into the market on FTX and other exchanges, and the SEL token price crashed to 20 cents. Now the shorts have to buy back the SEL tokens. However, if the price continues to rise, they must be careful not to do so at a loss. Short put an order in FTX to buy 37 million SEL at 1 penny, in apparent bet that Celsius network will fail. As of writing, which was yesterday, 11,297,429 SEL are available on exchange wallets, and shorts have to buy back 4.6 million SEL tokens on FTX. So you would really want to, if this wants to work, you'd want another, 6 to 7 million in wallet, or out of the wallets, right? Out of the exchange wallets. So the action plan at your own risk, not financial advice. Buy, sell on exchanges like FTX and transfer the SEL to private wallets or set limits, orders on 1 inch for $100 each. And this is the short squeeze. So a short squeeze is going on right now. Not dissimilar for those that are familiar with GameStonks and AMC, that sort of idea where there's a clear short selling going on. The supply isn't really enough to cover all of it. And so if people decide that they want to go ahead and short it, it is technically feasible. I don't know if it'll actually happen. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.